All those who have got old modules, I want you to read case study given on page number 31. While reading, what do we generally do when we read something? What do we generally do? We underline important points. We scribble in margin, we scribble down important points. We make notes. So read, make notes, and then try to present a summary. All those who have got the old module, you should present a summary of whose case study? Mr. Govind's case study. Who is Mr. Govind? What does he do in his classroom? You have to present a brief summary. Yeah, page number 31. 31 in the old module. Revised module, page number 44 and 45. Whose case study? Nandini's case study. Nandini's case study. Read silently, carefully. Skimming, scanning, or intensive reading? Intensive reading. Yeah, reading intensively, in depth.
My name is Santosh. I am from Koppala district. Sorry, I am from RIS. In case study, Mr. Govinda encourages students to read aloud. What I have read just now, I have understood that here is a very good encourages done by the teacher Mr. Govind. The class is he is conducted the case study for class 5th. So here what he had did it.
He is not conducting. He is teaching English in class.
Yes.
5th. Yeah.
Sorry, he is teaching class English for class 6th. Sorry, 5th.
5th class.
5th. So one day he is going to teach a class, and he gives a textbooks to as usual. They are using a textbooks, and he give he has give a task to read English texts aloud. When he reads once, later he asked their students to read silently, and the task has been given and it is started. And when he has given a task, some of the students are he is observing the students whether they are reading or not. But when he is going to observe, some of the students are reading, but some of the students are not reading. The reading students are very quietly they are reading, but some of the students are not reading. He understood that who were the familiar students who are already know the meaning of the sentence, meaning of the words. They are skimming. They are just pretending as a reading. They are not actually reading. So then some of the students are trying to read, but they cannot. At that time, he noticed some of the students and he bring them to one more activities he has taken, and he recalled them. Once he comes to know that there are some 4 students. For every now and then, or a week or some more time, he uses some trick that regularly he gives some work about to read loudly. When their students were going to read, when their unknown words comes, or they don't know the pronunciation of the word, they will stop. At that time, the teacher who is teaching Mr. Govind, he tells them about the meaning of the word, and he stops the student. First he tells them about the meaning, and when the students get the meaning, and later he tells them to come once again you should read the passage. Then again the students do the same, and finally the students are ready to read the texts easily. So the important is to register the words with the understanding the meaning of the word. Many of the students can read as well, I think.
Yep.
As I understand.
Good,
Thank
very
you.
good. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, well done. So this is not something that is very innovative, but teacher is doing something with lot of involvement, interest. He wants to see how they are improving their reading, right? So is a teacher interested or not, committed or not? Yes, very committed teacher. So it's being innovative, interested, and curious also. And the best thing is he wants to pay individual attention, individual attention. He wants to find out how many of them can read aloud without mistakes, and then he wants to use familiar text, texts which have familiar words and sentences. If the texts are familiar, students can read better, easily. All right. So something he's doing in his classroom with lot of involvement. So that's important. Yes, next one, second case study. Who would like to summarize?
My name Mutturaj. I am from Vijaypura, Karnataka. In this case study, the developing reading habits in classroom practice, I read this case study. In this case study, Nandini, the class teacher who teaches at class 3rd and in an elementary school, she has taken new innovations in reading aloud herself. She reads first, and second talk to the parents, and model reading is there, and some of the parents are able to read English, and then she invited them to read in class, and that is the model for other parents also. And she continues the daily routine to read the students and do the same things in classrooms and with the textbook and other books also. And she makes the monitors to the students, and she has given other students like reading buddies, and the pair, she had made the pair students and make them into a group, and given the tasks also, reading task. And last one, reading corner also. This is all about case study. In my class, I did some this type of tasks also. I teach for 6th standard in KPS, Karnataka Public School. I took 6th standard English medium. The same way I also did. I read first the text, and I have given many story books and other books to the students. I made a study corner, but some of the books are lost. It is my students, other class students still stole those books, and I have given some books, and I changed daily. The 1 week, some of the books given to the students, I changed to other students to read other stories, and in the morning also they do the same things. News reading every day. My students read the news, and I have given many conference and strategy also. I asked the questions related to the stories which I have given in the books, and I made reading queer group. Those who are reading well, I pair with the those who are very less, comprehension strategy or other things, and many more activities I have been doing in my class.
Very good, very good, very good. All right. So Nandini is a class 3 teacher, class 3 teacher. She does lots of interesting things. One is reading log. What is a reading log? Yeah, where is it? Reading log. Yes. Last line. Okay. I make an effort to talk to the students about what I am reading and what they are reading. No. 44 page. Yes, correct. I monitor students' reading habits. I developed a simple system to keep track of students' reading. I kept a weekly reading log in which students recorded the date, the title of their book, and number of minutes spent on reading each day of the week. That's right. So that's called reading log. Whatever, you also maintain a reading log. So students, whatever they read, they'll make a note of the date. When did they read this? How many minutes they spent reading this particular story? What they have understood? Maybe some. And then write the title, a short review of the book. Review, alright, whether they like the story or not. So that's a reading log. So Nandini has done many such things. She talks to their parents, and she invites parents to read aloud stories to their students. Some parents, literate parents who can read English, they are there or not? Yes, a few at least, a few. You can involve them. You can involve parents and invite them to the school to conduct read aloud sessions, right? Something innovative. And then she also talks about her own reading experiences. If you want your students to read, you should be a good reader in the first place. You should be a role model. So whatever books you read, not necessarily in English, in Kannada, Telugu, alright, whatever books you read, you should share your experiences with your students. And then she has encouraged a system of reading buddies. What is the meaning? Reading buddy means? Reading friends, pairs. One who can read will help the other one who is struggling to read. They help each other. And teacher will monitor. Alright. So many things. She made a big book also. Where is that? A big book? Big book also. Is it 46 page? Yes. Okay, right. Yeah, all right. So, yes, correct. So now what do you do? Please talk to each other, maybe in pairs or small groups. Statements. Discuss these statements. For example, I read aloud from the textbook or the board. The students silently follow along with me. Do you do this? If yes, why? What is the purpose? Reasons. Okay, similarly, second statement. I do interactive or shared reading in the class. Discuss what is interactive reading or shared reading. How do you do it? I read, stop at significant places, ask questions. Do you do this? If yes, why? So similarly, other statements. Put a tick mark. If you're doing something different, write it as your own statements. Add to this. You can add to the statements something that you do on your own. And then share your experiences. What do you do to improve your students' reading? What do you do? What have you done? What do you think we can do in future? Talk to each other in pairs. Yeah, pairs, two each, please, quickly. 5 minutes, share your experiences. First statements, which of them are you doing? Statements, talk about the statements. Yeah, pairs, two each.
The first one is, I read aloud from the textbook or the board. The students silently follow along with me. Yes, of course, I will do this because to know the pronunciation and to develop the reading habit. Second is, I do interactive or shared reading in the class. I read, stop at significant places, ask question. Definitely, sir. This one also I'll do to get answers from the students.
Okay. So that's
To know whether they are understanding or not, whether they are learning or not. I read big books in the class. I give the book to children and ask them to read every time a new group reads. I will not do this, sir, because the student for 7th class, they will not understand. Okay, it is very difficult to read with comprehension. Next is, I listen to students read aloud is in small groups of mixed ability. They do shared reading. Yes, I will do this because by small groups we can give the individual attention to the students. We can understand. We can give more concentration to the students. I follow the comprehension strategy. When I do shared reading, I stop and ask children questions for visualizing, summarizing, text to text and text to life connection. Of course, this will also I will do to know students whether they are understanding or not, and they can imagine. By visualizing, they can summarize, they can imagine and they can understand. I ask students to read a text silently. Then I give them tasks like sequencing, drawing, drawing or role play. This is also I'll do because to know the talent of the students. If the student is good at drawing, role play, through this we can learn. I ask students to read a text silently and ask them question about it. Yes, I do. To develop critical thinking, elicit some answers from the students. I make use of reading corner in my classroom. Yes, of course, I will do this because if we are having reading corner in our classrooms, first of all, the students will develop the habit of reading. They will remove their fear by seeing all the reading material, and it is one of the very important in English classrooms, I believe.
What else? Anything else you do? You can add. No.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
Hi.
Okay. Thank you.
From RIESI. I read first activity 1. I read aloud from the textbook or the board. The students silently follow along with me. Of course, I do this in my classroom, and first of all what I do is make them to open a page or a chunk. I take one chunk daily or a para. First I make them to read silently whether they can understand or not. If what the words you are feeling difficult to read, what are the words you are already known, I make them to underline, and what the words they are liking, put a star mark and put a smiley. That they do daily this, and after I read. If they can read, they read, or I make a model reading for them, and after group reading and individual reading comes. The steps I will follow for every lesson, and I do after the silent reading. I give because of the time I do not do much. Loud reading means it is happening every time. I do interactive or shared reading in the class. I read, stop at significant places, ask questions. I never read on my own without. I give always a chance to children only when they are doing workbook exercises. I never read. I allow them to read on their own one by one. I give chance to each and every child, whether it is 1 period, 2 periods, 3 periods. I do not bother about the time. I read big books in class. This I do not do, sir. I often we have a library period at the in the afternoon session, or in the lunch time we have some time now. That's children are going to take some book and they will read on their own. Or in library period, I will make them to whatever the book they want to. They take and read, and they develop. Whenever they feel difficulty, they come to me and I will give. They have a book record as a log book and date and what is the book you have read. They all entered in the daily in that record. I read big book. This is I do not do in my class. I listen to the students read aloud in small groups of mixed ability. They do shared reading. If the dull students are there, they have to follow the active reader what they are reading. And after I ask again the student what you have understood, you can read or not. I will check again. And I listen. I follow the comprehension strategies. When I do shared reading, I stop and ask children questions for visualizing. This is most and important, as Sir said yesterday. Without a meaning, there is no reading happen. That's why while they are reading, we must and should ask some questions to check and to move further what we have to do, further steps. I ask students to read a text silently. Then I give them tasks like sequencing, drawing of role play. Role play I often do if the time permits. According to the lesson, I take role plays, and sometimes I will do silent reading, give chance to silent reading, not regularly. Often I ask students to read a text silently and ask them questions about it. It is compulsory. I will ask each and every line a question. What do you understand? And if they read first time, do you have understood anything from the 2 or 3 lines every time? asking questions, they can get the answers, and it will become to comprehend, help to comprehend. I make use of the reading corner in my classroom. This is I want to do. I suggest my students to make a corner in your home, but I did not get this idea. In your home, you make a table, buy a little lamp, and you stay there. Daily you practice 1 or 2 lines to read. They can enjoy. It is my place. I have to read in this corner. They feel like that. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Very good, very good. Thank you so much. Right, so by following these practices, are these good practices? Yes. Yeah, some of the best practices actually. By following these practices, you can create a reading environment in the classroom, in the school. Is it important to create a reading environment? Yes. Yes. By being a role model, teacher herself being a role model, by bringing lots of books to the classroom, maybe creating a reading corner. You should always have a vocabulary book in the classroom, a grammar ready reckoner, a grammar book maybe, alright, and then maybe some simple story books. So, and then you have to monitor their reading with the help of a reading log, right? So one is, preparing reading logs, and then big books. What is a big book? Convert the lesson is in the printed form, right? Maybe it runs into some 3-4 pages. Big book, what do you do in a big book? So it's like if your textbook is of this size, for example, big book will be of very big size, very big size book like this with a title and a picture. So each page of the big book will have how many sentences? Just 1 or 2 sentences. 1 or 2 sentences in big font. You have to write it in big letters so that children even in the last row can read it. Teacher will hold it. You will hold it in the something. Yes, right. Where is it from?
Sir.
Yeah, share it in the group. When did you make that?
Last month, sir.
Last month in your school.
Yes.
Excellent. Very good. Please share it in the group. Right, sir. So 1 or 2 sentences. You have to summarize the whole story, which runs into 4 pages. You have to summarize the story and prepare a big book. So in big book, every page will have a picture related to the sentence. Yeah, pictures and 1 or 2 sentences to help students read on their own. Teacher will show this, and maybe first teacher will read, and then you will ask them to read words, sentences, and ask questions, and maybe look at the pictures as well. So big books are found to be very useful in developing initial reading skills. Right, so that's how you can create a reading culture, reading environment by preparing big books, not just depending on the textbook. Textbooks are so boring for children, right? They don't like textbooks, whereas big books are visually appealing, right? Yes, so big books, reading corner, and then teacher herself reading quite a lot of books and sharing, inviting parents to conduct some reading sessions. They read aloud. Why teacher always let them listen to a different voice? A parent comes and reads aloud. Possible or not possible? Possible, yes, possible. Why not? On a Saturday, we don't have, children don't bring bags on Saturdays. It is called bagless day. No bag. Yes, that day you can call parents, conduct such interesting activities, right? And then next is interactive reading. What is interactive reading? Teacher will start telling a story, stop in between and ask questions to check their comprehension. And again, questions not only factual. If you look at this, questions to encourage visualization. They'll visualize the story in their mind. Questions that will help them to relate the text to life. So it's there. Text to text, text to life. Text to text means from this text to another text. Children read in English, they relate the text to something they have already read in their mother tongue. Okay, they read a story in English, they relate it to a film they have watched, or a serial they have watched, alright, or a song. They read a story in the textbook, they relate it to a song they have heard. What is that called? Text to text connection. Text to life connection means, says there in one of the statements, text to text, text to life connect. Text to life means relate the text, relate the story to Your life, to their life, everyday life. All right. Yeah. Now, for example,
which are familiar to them.
that's right. That's it. If you were in this place, what would you do? All right. Yes, creating, relating it to real life situations. That is, so it's very important to relate the textbook lessons to real life situations. What do you do? Right. If, for example, there is a lesson about Monu's morning diary, there is a story in NCERT textbook, Monu's morning diary. What does Monu do in the morning? It's about his diary. What do you call diary, or it's also called routine? Monu's routine. It's about Monu, what he does. He wakes up late and all that. Very interesting story. It's not enough if you teach this story to the students. You have to go beyond that and relate it to their life. So how do you relate it to their life? This lesson is about Monu's routine. What about your routine? What about your routine? Tell me about what you do every day. What time do you get up? Alright, what else do you do? So children have to say 5 sentences about their routine. What tense do they use when they talk about daily routines? What tense? Simple present. Simple present, right? So that is text to life. Not just teaching about Monu's routine. Monu's routine is not important. What is more important is our own routine. Your ability to talk about yourself, your routine, your habits, likes and dislikes. Correct? Yeah, so that's it. Next is, so it's almost time. Observe the pictures carefully and try to create a story in English. I want you to look at how many pictures? 4 pictures. Are they all in the same sequence or are they jumbled? Are the pictures jumbled? Sequence is the same. Alright. Now you have to, this is picture reading. Based on the pictures, you have to create a story orally. First orally, maybe then writing. Yes. So can I know what do you see in the picture? What do you see? What's the name of the? It is turnip. Yes, turnip. If children don't know, then maybe they'll say the story is about a carrot, they might say, or beetroot. Not carrot, beetroot they'll say, or maybe for some children it looks like onion maybe. All right, they can create stories, but actually it is turnip. Spelling? T-U-R-N-I-P. Turnip. How many of you have seen turnips? Turnips? No. You have seen. Only in pictures, right? You have not tasted. What's the Kannada or Telugu word for turnip? Kannada word for turnip. You can search in Google. Turnip. Turnip. Equivalent word in Kannada, Telugu. Turnip only. It is radish type, but pink in color. Radish type. Yes. Maybe we don't have it in our country. Yeah, we don't get it here, but you get it in other countries. Turnip. Yes. Maybe that is radish. Carrot is there. Oh, I see. All right. Yes. So what do you see in the picture? In addition to turnip, what else? Turnip, then? It's a white big. It's a huge turnip. Yes. 2 people are trying to pull it out. So you can introduce. So children will not have the necessary vocabulary. Teacher will have to brainstorm, supply the vocabulary, turnip, and then they are trying to pull it up. Or what's the other word? Pull it up or pluck, maybe. Pluck or pull it up. Here actually pulling it up. Alright. What else? What are the other words, phrases related to the pictures? So turnip, 2 people. Who are these 2 people? 2 old people. Maybe, what do you call these old people? Maybe they are grandparents. Okay, pull up. Then what are the other words?
They are pulling the leaves.
They're trying hard. Okay, trying hard to get it out. Okay. Right. So can one of you tell the story? Can you tell the story? Not now. So please think of a story, and maybe in the next class you should tell a story based on these pictures. And next page, there are session 2, authentic materials. How to use authentic materials in the classroom to improve reading. I want one of you to conduct the session in the next class. That is maybe on Monday. I should check the timetable. Whenever you have my next class, maybe Monday. one or two should come with authentic materials. What are authentic materials? Bus tickets, notices, chocolate wrappers, biscuit wrappers, milk packet, which something to read. Alright, reading material, authentic. They are also authentic. We call them real materials. But here, materials which help students to read. So it should have some text. Wrappers, toothpaste, cover, whatever. You have to bring some of those materials and use them in the classroom and say how we can use these materials to develop reading. Who will conduct the class? Maybe Monday in my class. You have to come and teach. You should play my role as a teacher. Who will do this? This is preparation for your teaching practice. Bring some materials. Maybe you can do it in a team. 2 or 3 can do team teaching. You get only 10 or 15 minutes, not full 40 minutes time, alright? 10-15 minutes. Who will teach? 2, or 3, not one, 2, 3 people together. How many? 2 together. Okay, you can join them. So name Usha and team. Hasina and Bhavani. Sit together here. And Lalita. So 4 of you plan together and conduct a session for about 15 minutes. How to use authentic materials in the classroom, especially to develop reading and reading comprehension, word recognition, pronunciation. Alright, good. Next is vocabulary. One more session on vocabulary. How to teach, for example, how to use high frequency words, how to present vocabulary in the classroom. I want someone else to teach this on the same day. We'll have 2 sessions, one by name Usha and team, the other one on vocabulary. In reading, vocabulary is very important. So how to present vocabulary in the classroom, how to introduce new words, how to use sight words in the classroom, high frequency words. It's all there based on the module. You can use additional materials. You can take a printout or you can display it in the classroom. High frequency words. List is here. If you refer to Google, you will get more materials. Who would like to take a session on teaching vocabulary to improve reading? Yeah, again team teaching, 2 or 3 together. Can we give chance to others, gents? Or so one anyway, authentic materials, ladies. Vocabulary, some gents. Can you? Yeah, who would like to do this? You have to teach. It's like preparation for your teaching practice. 15 minutes you will get. Who would like to teach? 3 or 4 together. Team teaching. Okay, material is all there. It's given in the module, especially in the revised module. All the ideas are there. You just have to execute it. Team. You should work in a team. 3 or 4. Make a team. 3, 4, sir. Who would like to teach? Volunteer, no? Name. Manohar, Ramu, Velu, and sir can also join. Alright, please take, and then Manohar, Ramu, Venu. 3 or 4 plus Nijas. Okay, good. 3, 4. We'll have to plan and conduct the session on Monday. Yeah, ready? Okay, yes. That's it. I think we'll break for lunch. Thank you. Yeah.